we are at SB58 and right now I am with Bettina, who is going to share with us what ACE is and also the ACE dialogues that happened last week. So just to start, it will be great to share a little bit more about what ACE is. For example, it's Action for Climate Empowerment. However, this takes a lot of pillars, so can you share a lot more about it?
Yes, so there's 6 elements that make up ACE, and what I find are the most important ones for youth are there's a pillar about access to information. So we want information of what happens here to be accessible to young people as well, so that it is in a way that is easily understandable. It's also about public participation, so their youth are always a specific group that needs to be accommodated when the public is involved. We can also ask for our point of view to be included in these processes. It's also about education, because that's also a basis of being involved and making your voice heard. You need to kind of know what the problems actually are and what the options are to do something about it. And another element I think that's also important for young people is about training, so that that young people or even children have opportunities in the future, and to also have types of jobs that can contribute to solving the climate crisis.
Yeah, amazing. And I mean, all of these is going to help us have stronger climate actions, right? For adaptation, mitigation, and everything. So I wanted to ask you, that happened last week, do you have any takeaways of these? I know that the dialogue involves parties, but also stakeholders, which sometimes it's quite difficult to have those two elements in the same room. So I think it's a great opportunity to share ideas. Any key takeaways?
So now with ACE, we're in the phase where we have a work program, we have an action plan, and now it's about, well, how do we make this more concrete, especially also in the national context. So we had an exchange between parties and observers about what could this look like, and we focused on monitoring, evaluation, and reporting. So we, as observers and youth, also could give our inputs, what we would find important when it comes to kind of keeping track of how ACE is being implemented on the international but also the national level.
Yeah, and actually that part of national level is really important. So do you have any advice on how we can take all these knowledge and all the decisions that happen here but back to our government?
I think especially for youth, it's really important to know that it's not just, you're not just demanding to be involved and to be heard, that actually the parties have already decided that you should be involved and be heard. So you don't have to, when youth want to approach their national government, they don't actually, they're not the only youth that have this demand, but it's actually parties that have decided that this is something that youth should be allowed to do and should be involved in. So you can actually use the decisions by all the parties to get yourself heard also in the national context.
Amazing. Yeah, and at the end of the year we have COP28. So do you have also any advice on how we can bring everything that's decided on ACE to all the other tracks also, which I believe it's important, or any what are the next steps for ACE at COP28?
So there's no negotiations on ACE. I mean, there's obviously always an exchange between people who work on these topics. For me, I think the most important thing is that we now start to really take ACE seriously in all the other negotiation streams, so that we pay attention to language on participation of especially group youth, but also other groups, and that we make sure that things like access to information is also something that's being held up high in the UNFCCC context, because that's not always the case. And also making sure that observers have access to as many rooms where decisions are being taken as possible.
Amazing. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Awesome.